Kina's cry sliced through the stillness of Mooncrest Estate like a knife tearing open the night. The sound was small but sharp enough to jolt the sleeping stray dogs outside the gate and send them scattering. Inside the tiny apartment on the 7th floor, Jero stumbled out of sleep, blinking fast, chest thudding. He swung his legs off the bed, feeling for the edge of the mattress, muttering, "Kina, please just give me 1 hour. 1 hour, my love." But before he could stand, the crying stopped. Instantly. Completely. As if someone had pressed mute on the universe. Jero froze, 1 foot hovering above the floor. "What?" he whispered. He waited, breath lodged in his chest. Nothing.
No rustle. No bimper.
Just silence. He let out a shaky breath, rubbed his forehead, and whispered, "Thank God," before collapsing back onto the bed, not realizing that the tiny hairs on his arm were standing on end. Because even though he couldn't see her, Mira was already in the room. Her ghostly form drifted in through the closed balcony door, her gown brushing against nothing, her pale light faint but growing as she approached the crib. The baby inside, little Kina, blinked up at her with wide eyes, not confused, not startled, just relieved. Mira knelt beside the crib, her bare feet hovering above the rug, and whispered, "My moonbeam, Mama's here." Wait, before we continue, don't forget to like, share, and hit that subscribe button. Drop a comment to tell us what you think will happen next, and where you're watching from. The baby reached upward with tiny fists. Mira smiled with an ache so deep it glowed through her transparent cheeks. "I know," she breathed. "I heard you. I'll always hear you." She lifted Kina effortlessly, as though holding a wisp of air, cradling her close. The baby rested her head against Mira's shoulder with a soft sigh, the kind that could shatter a heart into 1,000 pieces. Outside, an icy wind swept the hallway. Mrs. Hallow on the 3rd floor woke suddenly and muttered, "She's back again," before pulling her blanket over her head. Back in the room, Kina suckled contentedly on the milk Mira conjured, not physical, not real, but nourishing enough to quiet her hunger. Mira hummed softly, and the lullaby spilled across the room like warm water. The walls seemed to breathe with it. Even the shadows seemed to shiver. "I'm sorry I left you," she whispered, rocking the baby gently. "I didn't choose it. I didn't want to go. But I will never stop coming back." The balcony door rattled slightly. The lights flickered twice. Mira stiffened. She turned her head slowly toward the hallway, her voice dropping to a whisper. "Not tonight. Please, not tonight." A faint ripple of darkness hovered just outside the apartment door, something shaped like smoke but heavier, watching, waiting. Mira pressed Kina close. "I won't let anything take you. I won't lose you twice." She lowered the baby back into the crib and brushed a cold, glowing fingertip across her forehead. Kina giggled, quiet, sweet, bubbling like spring water. Jero shifted in bed. Mira vanished. Jero sat up, heart pounding for no reason he could explain. The air felt colder now, colder than any open window could cause. He walked toward the crib, careful not to trip over the toys scattered on the floor. When he reached the crib, Kina was sleeping peacefully, a tiny smile on her lips. Jero frowned. "You were screaming a minute ago," he whispered. How did you calm down so fast?" He touched her cheek.
Warm. Alive. Perfect.
He wanted to cry from relief. Instead, he whispered, "You're my strong girl," and kissed her forehead. The faint scent of jasmine brushed past his nose. He stiffened. "That smell again," he murmured. "Why do I keep smelling flowers at night?" He checked the windows. Closed. Checked the air freshener. Empty. The scent grew stronger, swirling around him. He shook his head and walked back to bed. Behind him, just for a second, the shape of a woman shimmered beside the crib before fading. A sudden clang echoed from the hallway outside the apartment. Jero jumped, startled, and went to lock the door. "These neighbors need to stop making noise at night," he grumbled. But it wasn't a neighbor. Outside the door, the shadowy figure thickened, forming limbs, then a torso, then a dripping darkness where a face should be. Akondu pressed a smoky hand against the door and whispered, "Almost time for you, little light." Inside the apartment, Kina whimpered. Mira materialized instantly beside the crib, her glow sharp, fierce. Stay away from her, she hissed, voice trembling with rage. You won't touch her. Not while I exist. Akondu's whisper slithered under the door. You are dead. The child belongs to the dark now. Mira's eyes burned white. She belongs to me. The entire apartment shook, but Jero slept through it, oblivious, one hand dangling off the edge of the bed. Mira spread her arms, forming a shimmering shield around Kina. The shadow recoiled, sizzling against the light like acid. You can't protect her forever, Akondu hissed. Mira whispered back, trembling, watch me. The shadow dissolved, for now. When the room calmed, Mira sank beside the crib, her form flickering weakly. I'm getting weaker, she murmured. But I will not stop. I will never stop. I'll pay whatever price. She looked at her baby, eyes softening. My little star, you're worth everything. A faint knock echoed. 3 gentle taps. Mira froze. She knew that knock. The silver watcher appeared in the corner of the room, tall, metallic, sorrow in his dim, glowing eyes. His voice glided across the air, gentle but firm. Mira, you crossed the boundary again. She didn't look up. I had to. You're tearing the veil, he said softly. The living will see you soon. I don't care. You should. Mira finally faced him, anger blazing through her glow. She needs me. The watcher sighed. And you need to let her live in the world of the living. Mira shook her head. Not while that thing exists. The watcher stepped closer, lowering his voice. Mira, your time is unraveling. She trembled. I don't care. Let it unravel. A baby's soft whimper cut through the tension. Mira was at the crib in an instant, her presence calming Kina into gentle sleep again. The watcher watched her, pity radiating. Love this strong always ends with a price. I've already paid, she whispered. He shook his head. Not yet. His form dissolved into silver dust. Mira stayed beside the crib, humming once more, her glow softening. The wind outside Mooncrest Estate howled suddenly, rattling loose signs and making the thin, dying trees in the courtyard bow in unison. It was almost as if the city itself sensed something stirring. A streetlight flickered, buzzing like an insect caught between life and death. A stray dog lifted its head, whined softly, then pressed its belly flat to the concrete ground in fear. Upstairs, Jero jerked awake again. This time it wasn't Kina's cry, there was no sound at all. Just an overwhelming sense that something was wrong. His chest tightened, and he swung his legs over the bed, breath shallow. Kina, he whispered, heart pounding. He hurried toward the crib. Before he even reached it, he felt it cold. Not normal cold. A sudden temperature drop that struck him like an open freezer door. His breath fogged in the air. His skin prickled violently. He stopped. Frozen. Kina slept peacefully in her crib, chest rising and falling in calm little breaths. Nothing was wrong with her. Everything was wrong with the room. Jero rubbed his arms and whispered, Not this again, not this cold. What is happening in this apartment? A soft sound echoed behind him. A faint hum. A lullaby. Jero whipped around so fast he almost fell. Hello? Who's there? His voice broke. Is someone in here? Silence. He backed up toward the crib, shielding Kina instinctively. He scanned the room, half expecting someone to emerge from the shadows. Nothing moved, but the smell of jasmine swirled around him again, stronger, undeniable. He whispered, I swear someone is here. His voice cracked with fear, confusion, exhaustion. Mira stood just inches behind him, unseen, her soft glowing hand hovering near his back. She whispered, voice trembling, I'm here, Jero. I'm here. But you can't see me. You can't. He stiffened suddenly, as if he felt something but wasn't sure what. He shivered violently. Mira withdrew her hand. I'm sorry, she whispered. I never wanted to frighten you. Her form flickered again, this time stronger, more visible. She gasped, startled, and held herself together by sheer will. No, no, not yet. A whisper slithered through the walls. Your glow weakens, Mira. Akondu. Mira spun toward the dark corner of the ceiling where a ripple formed, twisting like black smoke.
Leave.
She's under my protection. Akondu's voice, dripping like tar, replied, Your protection is failing. Mira launched herself forward, light bursting from her chest like a flare. The shadow hissed and recoiled, curling inward as if burned. The walls shook. A picture frame fell off the shelf, startling Jero so much he clutched Kina out of instinct. What is going on? Jero gasped. Is this building cursed? He stumbled backward, heart hammering, and Mira flinched. Don't look this way, she breathed. Please don't look at me. Kina began to cry, as if sensing the tension. Jero tried to hush her, but the cry only grew louder, piercing. Mira panicked and rushed toward them. Don't cry, baby, she begged. Please don't cry now, not now. Akondu struck in that instant. A dark tendril shot from the shadow, slamming against Mira's chest, sending her spiraling backward. Her glow sputtered like a dying firework. She hit the wall, gasping soundlessly. Her form blinked in and out, like a glitching hologram. No, she cried. No, I can't, not now. Akondu's voice filled the room in a low, grotesque whisper. You are fading. Soon you will not rise again. Give the child to the dark, Mira. Let her follow you. Never, she screamed. The light burst from Mira again, fierce and wild, slashing through the shadows like a blade. Akondu shrieked, recoiling toward the ceiling, dissolving into thin smoke. But Mira fell to her knees, her entire form flickering. I'm losing my strength. I'm losing it so fast. Kina's crying softened again, soothed by Mira's presence. Jero rocked her, terrified, completely unaware of the ghostly battle raging inches away. Jero whispered shakily, Why do you calm down the second I feel like the world is ending? What are you seeing that I'm not? Mira watched him, tears shimmering down her glowing cheeks. I wish you could see me, she whispered. I wish you knew how much I'm still here. Her voice broke. She drifted toward him, aching, wanting to touch him, to tell him the truth, to beg him to hold their daughter tight and never let the shadows near her. She reached out a trembling hand toward his shoulder. A knock thundered through the room. 3 knocks. Slow. Heavy. Final. Mira froze, eyes widening. Not you, not now. Silver dust swirled into existence. The Silver Watcher appeared, taller than before, his metallic form dimly glowing, expression carved in sorrow. The lights flickered around him as he stepped forward. Mira, he said gently. Enough. She shook her head violently.
No.
I won't stop. I can't stop. You must.
No.
She backed away, shielding the crib instinctively, though she wasn't touching it. If I stop, he'll take her. The dark wants her. You see what's happening. He keeps coming back. I know, the Watcher said softly. But you crossing the boundary invites him. She froze, horrified. What? Every time you rise, the veil tears. Every tear invites darkness. Akondu only found her because of you. No, she whispered, shaking. No, that can't be true. I just want to feed her, hold her, protect her. And you do, the Watcher said. But at a cost. Mira's glow dimmed in anguish. I didn't know. I didn't mean to. I know, he replied. But the cost is rising. Soon, the living will see you. And once they do, you will be stuck between realms. Forever. Mira collapsed beside the crib, her ghostly hands gripping the rails though they passed through the wood. I don't care. Let me be trapped. Let me stay. I want to stay. The Watcher knelt beside her. Your heart is loud, Mira. Loud enough to break worlds.
But love is not always about staying.
Sometimes it is about letting the child live without the burden of your presence. Mira sobbed. She needs me, and he needs you to let go, the Watcher said, glancing at Jero. Jero hummed softly to Kina, unaware of the spirit's presence, the weight of the unseen world nearly crushing the air around him. The Watcher rose. Akondu grows. He will return stronger. And soon, you won't be enough to stop him. Mira wiped her glowing cheek. Then what do I do? The Watcher's voice hardened. You prepare to make a choice. Mira trembled. What choice? The hardest one, he said. He dissolved into silver dust, leaving the room cold and trembling. Mira clutched the crib, staring at her baby, her voice breaking with every whispered word. I don't want to choose. I don't want to lose you again. Kina yawned, reaching into empty air as if reaching for her mother. Mira reached back, her voice a shattered whisper. I'm here, my love. I'm still here. The next night fell faster than usual, as though the sky was eager to bring back the danger waiting in the dark. Mooncrest Estate buzzed with uneasy whispers, neighbors murmuring about cold hallways, flickering lights, and the strange jasmine scent that drifted through the building long after midnight. Some claimed to hear a lullaby. Others swore a pale figure wandered the corridors. But no one dared investigate. Inside the 7th-floor apartment, Jero paced the living room, restless, rubbing the back of his neck. I don't understand, he whispered. Every time she cries, something strange happens, and every time I think I hear someone, smell someone, feel someone. He stopped and looked toward the crib. Kina lay asleep, peaceful, wrapped in soft blankets. He walked over slowly, leaned down, and stroked her cheek. Your mom would have known what to do, he murmured. I wish she was here. God, I wish she was here. Unseen behind him, Mira stood with her hand over her mouth, her glow trembling with emotion. She whispered, I am here. I'm right here. She reached toward Jero instinctively, but her hand passed through his back like mist. The ache inside her deepened until she could barely hold her shape. A ripple of darkness drifted across the ceiling. Mira looked up sharply.
No, not now.
Not tonight. Akondu seeped downward like a spill of ink, forming a twisted, shifting shape. The veil weakens, Mira. You weaken with it. Mira stepped in front of the crib, arms spread protectively. You won't touch her. I won't let you. Akondu hissed, smoky tendrils reaching for the baby. You fed her. You warmed her. You kept her. She is connected to you. And you are mine. Mira screamed, never. Her glow exploded outward, lighting the whole apartment in white-blue radiance. The walls shook. The air rippled. Akondu recoiled, but only for a moment. This time, he fought back. Shadow tendrils lashed out, striking Mira's chest with brutal force. She staggered backward, her glow sputtering violently. She gasped as though drowning, struggling to stand. No, she cried. Stay away from her. Jero felt the shake, jolting in fear. He grabbed Kina, holding her close, panicked. What the hell is happening? Earthquake? Is that what this is? God, please, please stop. Mira pushed herself off the ground, using the last of her strength to blast light toward the shadow. Akondu screamed, splitting into pieces of black smoke, but he didn't vanish. He reformed instantly. You can't win, he rasped. Not anymore. Mira's glow dimmed further, flickering like a candle in a storm. She gasped, voice breaking. I can't protect her. You can't protect yourself, Akondu spat. He surged forward. Mira braced, and the entire room exploded with silver light. The Silver Watcher materialized, landing between Mira and the shadow, his sword-shaped arms slicing through the darkness. Akondu shrieked, stumbling back as the Watcher's light burned through him. Enough, the Watcher thundered. Enough of this. Akondu hissed, swirling near the ceiling. You cannot guard them forever. No, the Watcher said calmly. But she can either. Akondu lunged in one last attempt, but the Watcher unleashed a blast of silver energy so intense that Akondu's form shattered into scattering dust. Silence filled the room, heavy and trembling. Jero collapsed to his knees, gripping Kina tightly, heart racing with terror. He whispered, Please, please let this stop. Mira turned toward him, her glow fading, her form flickering more violently now. The Watcher approached her slowly. "It is time." Mira shook her head, backing away. "No, please, not yet. Please, I can still fight. I can still protect her. I can." "You are unraveling," the Watcher said gently. "One more crossing, and you will lose your essence forever. You will become a wraith.
Trapped.
Empty. Neither mother nor memory." Mira's glow trembled. "I don't care what happens to me, but your presence brings danger to the child," he said firmly. "And to the father. Akondu found her, because your love was too strong. The veil tore too wide." Mira's knees weakened. She looked at Kina, who nestled against Jero's chest, tiny fingers clutching his shirt. Jero whispered softly, "It's okay, baby. Daddy's here. Daddy's got you." Mira's breath hitched in a silent sob. The Watcher lowered his voice. "Tonight is your last night to return safely. After this, the gate closes. If you choose to stay by crossing again, you will be stuck between worlds. And the darkness will follow. Always." Mira looked at him, broken. "So what do I choose? Abandoning her, or being trapped forever?" "You choose whether she lives peacefully, or always with shadows near." Mira sank down beside the crib, even though the baby wasn't inside it. She pressed her glowing forehead to the wooden rail, her voice cracking like shattered glass. "I don't want to leave her. I don't want to go." The Watcher knelt beside her. "Love is not the act of staying. Love sometimes is the courage to let the living live." She whispered, "Will she forget me?" He shook his head. "No child forgets the warmth of a mother. Not truly. Your love has already touched her. It will stay." Mira sobbed softly, looking at her baby for the very last time. She reached out a trembling hand, passing it gently over Kina's tiny head. The baby sighed, as if feeling her one final time. Jero felt a strange warmth at that moment. He froze, looking around the room. "Mira?" he whispered unconsciously. "Are you here?" Mira smiled weakly through tears. "He felt me. Just once. That is enough." She rose slowly, glow fading further, and whispered, "Jero, I loved you. I still do. Take care of her. Please take care of her." Jero felt another warm rush, like a soft hand brushing his cheek. His eyes filled. "Mira? Is that you? Please, please don't leave us." Mira gasped softly, overwhelmed, wanting desperately to answer him. She opened her mouth, but no sound came. The Watcher placed a gentle hand on her shoulder. "It's time." Mira looked at her baby one last time. "I love you," she breathed. "I loved you before you were born. I will love you after the world ends. My little moonbeam, goodbye." She closed her eyes. Her form dissolved into silver blue light. It drifted upward, soft as a sigh, tender as a kiss, fading until there was nothing left. The Watcher bowed his head, then vanished too, leaving the apartment warm and still. Kina cooed softly against Jero's chest. Jero held her tighter than ever before, tears sliding down his face. "I don't know what just happened, or why I feel like I've lost you all over again," he whispered. "But I promise I'll love you enough for both of us. I'll make her proud." Kina smiled in her sleep. A faint gust of jasmine-scented wind brushed past Jero's cheek. He closed his eyes. Outside, the neon lights flickered gently, almost like a farewell. Inside Mooncrest Estate, the rumors would continue, about lullabies and warm breezes, glowing nights and unseen guardians. But no one would ever truly know the story, except Kina, because some bonds, once woven, never break. If you felt the emotion of this story, don't forget to subscribe, like the video, and drop a comment telling us your favorite moment. Your support keeps the amazing stories coming. Thanks for watching.